The chonk chart. A fine boy. He chonk. A heckin' chonker. Hefty chonk. Mega chonker. Oh Lord, he comin'!
The USS McDonald, Vermont, is the pinnacle of the Tier 10 slow American battleships, with 12 457mm guns that deal more damage per shell than the mighty Yamato. But, in return, Vermont is extremely slow, only managing a top speed of 22.51 knots base and very poor acceleration, meaning Vermont is unable to disengage from a situation where she is being focused by multiple enemy ships, which can lead to her dying quickly due to her relatively poor deck armor. So you need to stay with your allies as much as possible. You may be forced to camp in some games, but it is better than to die early. Vermont has very accurate guns but a very slow 29-second reload. Some people may run reload mod to reduce the reload, but I would not recommend it as it makes your turrets prone to being broken. Instead, I would recommend these. For slot 1, take main battery mod 3 to improve your dispersion even further, or artillery plotting room to increase your range to be able to shoot targets earlier. For slot 2, take propulsion mod 1 to reduce the time taken to accelerate, or deck protection mod to reduce fires being set on you as you are a huge target and HE spammers like Smolensk love to farm you. Finally, for slot 3, take steering gear mod 2 so that you are able to turn quicker to dodge torp.
Enemy spotted.
Well, you can also take concealment mod for the third slot so that you are not the first target. I don't recommend torpedo defense mod as it is not a flat addition, meaning you don't gain 33% plus 15% TDR, but only about 5% TDR. Also, while Vermont AA is good, I don't recommend any AA builds as they won't help much. You will still be burnt or flooded by a CV. Now for the commander build. This is what I would recommend. Now for her playstyle, as I said earlier, she is very slow and cannot disengage properly, so she has to stick with her allies as much as possible. At the start of the game, first observe where your allies are trying to go. If they are heading straight for caps, follow them but don't enter the cap immediately. Observe the situation before planning your next move as you don't want to be caught with your pants down. Only try to cap with support, otherwise you would just be focused and die. If you are unable to cap, you will have to play the range game until you are able to do so. However, due to your slow speed, you may be unable to obtain capture points. In base capture games, you usually want to stay at the back early in the game, and push only if enemy destroyers have been cleared or are forced back to their own base. Otherwise you would just be capped by a DD that sneaked all the way to your base. Vermont isn't too good at handling destroyers on her own though. Even with her 33% torpedo damage reduction, she still takes significant damage from destroyers like Shimakaze, or she gets farmed down by gunboats. However, Vermont AP tends to score a few full pens here and there on destroyers, so don't be afraid to shoot at them even if you had a P loaded. Your biggest counters at range are Yamato, Shikishima and another Vermont. Be careful when facing them as they have equal chance to nuke you back. Now go out there, and VERBONK people with massive salvos.